originally when we put it on the agenda, and I said that I would bring this one forward, it was all in one policy. But I'm trying to get, if you're a parent and you're looking up a policy, I want to make it easy to find. So as I was looking at what other districts were doing, what the code said in the National Coding Book, it appears that there's two issues. One is what constitutes residency, and then the other would be tuition for, or admission of non-resident students, and so I split them. And then, after, well, if we can look at the residency one first, after I split it into this little admission of non-resident students, I found the Portsmouth policy, which has some wording that I think we might want to consider adding. So.
Okay. Do we want to look at what's here first? All right, I just have some grammatical changes.
I'll let you do it.
Yeah, they're all the same, but look at that.
Yeah.
Grammar girls.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for.
Problem with having teachers on the
I
board.
used to be
you know?
married to a grandma.
That's right.
Yeah, I teach biology.
So are we keeping the comma or getting rid
I
of it?
Which
don't like
comma?
that
Okay.
comma. I wanted
Okay.
to add
Okay.
one after school.
All right. So in this, under the second bullet, line, year may request in writing permission, get rid of the comma after in writing. You either would offset it with two commas
Okay.
or none, so we'll look for none. I wanted to change, this is actually a substantive change, and the last line, the student shall be, last line of that same bullet, the student shall be allowed to complete the semester in Jamestown. I would say the student may be allowed. I still think that, like, for example, if during the course of a semester, let's say the student registers for one day,
Yeah.
and then the family moves to NK but wants to leave the student here. I mean, there has to be some discretion on the school's part to make a decision. So I think may be allowed to complete the semester leaves a little flexibility for the
Or else
administration.
something about during the course of the semester, like, because this reads at any point during the semester.
I think that's what the law says.
The law says,
Really?
I think, is during the second semester, they can finish out the school year.
Yeah,
But
that
but if
was
they're in the
same.
first
But that's-
semester, and we had a case, if you remember, a student this year, that they leave in the middle of the term, because of the grading, I think, they can finish the term before they have to go on to their other school.
Right, but
But you're saying
if you
that they-
have a family, you know, not to think that anybody thinks this way, but who's moving off island, but loves the Jamestown schools and at least wants their kid to go through half the year here. So they register the child and then they move during the first week of school, but now they're allowed to keep the kid there for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
This would allow us no flexibility
Okay.
to deal with that.
So change shall to
I
may.
mean, you still may decide to let the
And-
child stay, but I mean, at least you have some sort of
Discretion.
discretion.
And in this case, you're not violating the law at this point, if you say may. Because you may have to.
Okay, then in the third bullet, again, take out the comma after writing in the second line. And then I just had a real problem with, under procedure, the first bullet, unwieldy language here is what I would be noting on my student papers. Unwieldy.
Fully approved.
Proof of residence.
Where did we get this one from?
I didn't do this
Was
one.
it unwieldy?
No, but I remember we looked at, we said, okay, we like so-and-so's policies.
Yeah.
Well, we liked a lot of it.
So I didn't, I
just
wasn't
think
real.
must be
The scrutiny, okay.
Proof of residence, well, this is the way it reads now. Proof of residence will be required to be completed by all enrolled students. So here,
Not
student,
completed,
here's your
approved.
proof of residence,
Right.
please complete it. Sign it and
I
stamp it.
just changed it to prove
So,
residence
must be
required, or will be required of all enrolled.
There you go.
Or in order to
There
be
you go,
enrolled.
it's even better. No, proof of residence will be required of all enrolled students. How's that?
But you have to have proof of residence before we
Oh, all
allow
right, in
you
order
to
to
become
be
enrolled.
enrolled, fine.
It's a requirement.
Required to enroll a student?
Yeah,
Will
to
be
enroll a
required-
student.
okay.
Proof of residence will be required to enroll a student.
In the passive
Or
voice
to
doesn't
enroll
bother
all
you?
students?
It does, but you know,
It's a policy.
I'm,
How
you know,
much
I'm
is
not a,
required?
Just to enroll.
I can be
Approved
flexible.
resident will be required.
No.
To enroll, yeah, that's fine too.
Now, did you have anything else here?
Splitting.
Oh, wait a minute, that, in the
Actually,
website's not splitting it.
I did have a question, I wasn't sure about
I
this.
found information on the website before.
Residency, I thought the residency.
There's a lot of areas to split.
What is the difference?
I don't have
The
that many.
residency requirements are enforced,
Yeah.
because I'm not sure a residence requirement,
How about you say proof of residence is required to enroll
proof
students?
of residency, I wasn't sure.
She's saying residence or residency.
But the residence is the place.
I think it's proof of residency.
That's what
Yeah,
I think.
change it to residency.
And then in the last bullet too.
Same one, to ensure residency requirements.
Where,
You know, the last bullet,
Let's pull it under.
residency.
Yeah, procedure.
Any other comments or grammatical
The
tweaking?
substance of the policy.
I'm checking.
Well,
I
actually,
pretty
it's
much
just
copied this
Michelle,
from
but
somebody
they-
else.
Don't worry about it.
No? Not a problem.
We've seen a lot worse.
Some of ours.
So this one then, with these changes, will go to a second reading. Is that-
Okay, admission of non-resident students.
No change.
No.
I got it.
Can you please that?
Well, yes, because this bracketed section here.
You're all-
Yeah, the sections 1.3 and 1.4 in Portsmouth's, I actually like. It's more specific, I think.
Yeah, right.
So, I just bring it, you know, for your consideration. If,
That's because
you want
I thought
to shorten
that's it. I would
general
just put them
one,
together, but I
or
think-
Okay, so this is about it, inconsistency. That's fine. All right, that's good. Leave it at that. I'm sorry.
This is the 14.
Oh, okay.
Provisions in the course of.
Oh, you wanted to add to the,
well, I think that we ought to at least consider them in the first reading and think is this better, or should we include any of this in addition, or instead of what we have in front of us?
Yeah, I think I like having some of these things.
Yeah, I think some of those are important, right?
Because this doesn't say anything
It's
about, it
based
says
available.
this is about how the parents can request it. It doesn't say anything about
Yep.
what criteria we would look at to make a decision. Yeah.
I think those are reasonable. And the tuition.
and request for, that was my other question about the original. It wasn't clear that they have to apply each year. And here, requests for both new and continuing tuition students will be reviewed annually
Yeah.
with respect to these criteria.
I like Shannon.
Yeah.
It's good.
Good additions.
Well, additions or replacements?
Well,
Okay,
1.3 is
so-
an addition, 1.4 would be a replacement, I guess. I liked our version
Well,
of
no, annual
1.4
is-
better.
The annual aspect's there,
Or about
tuition's there.
tuition.
Establish tuition based on cost to the district of providing education services.
I mean, you don't have, that's good, you don't have to, it says will be established teaching using district costs as established by state and other data, as well as any information that deems appropriate. That's sort of saying what we just said here in many fewer words.
Now, the attorney helped me to craft this one because I was concerned that
Yeah.
we word it such that it wouldn't be one tuition across the board. It would, if we had a child with special needs, that the tuition would cover whatever the
Yeah, I
our
like
costs
our
are,
version
needs
better,
are.
Okay.
honestly.
Okay, so,
And it does say, our thing already does say, will annually establish the tuition, so.
we don't
We
need
know that the
1.4.
No, I would
if
say
they
that-
have to submit the request each year, and we get to establish the tuition each year,
Okay,
then
so
we wouldn't
not-
face a gap.
Not 1.4, but,
1.3.
okay, and where in,
After
after the first sentence?
Yeah,
Yes, yep, perfect. Change Portsmouth to Jamestown.
Okay.